filthy swines, get in here, have a seat, and we're going to read some news. Make sure you hit the like and follow buttons. So let's crack on, shall we? One of the ways I think we could potentially deal with AI replacing human labor, if we can grade certain activities as being human equivalent. Let's say you have a fast food restaurant, and in that fast food restaurant, it's predominantly run by robots, but perhaps those robots are being operated by people who are elsewhere. Maybe there's a certain amount of telepresence operation going on. And I think that if we had that world back in the pandemic days, a way to keep people working and keep the economy running, you don't have to worry about having viral vectors delivering your food or making your food or whatever when they're constantly cleaned by maybe UV light or whatever. But the other day there was a video doing the rounds on X. This article covers it on the Daily Mail, written by Shivla Best. Ouch! Watch the eye-watering moment. A man is kicked in the groin by a robot mimicking his movements. He effectively kicks himself in the nuts. Ow. A hilarious video has revealed the moment a man was kicked in the groin by a humanoid robot that was mimicking his own movements. The footage was initially shared to Bilibili by user Xeon Sunlight, but has since gone viral across social media. It shows a man wearing a motion capture suit, an outfit with sensors that record body movements and convert them into digital motion data. Unfortunately for him, this data is fed straight into a UniTree G1 robot, which replicates his movements almost immediately. So when the man goes for a high kick, the robot follows suit, aimed directly at his groin. Following the kick, the man doubles over in pain, which the robot obediently also mimics. The short clip has gained huge attention on Blue Sky, with one user joking the kick in the nuts is one thing, but then mocking his pain is just diabolical. Another added, humanity kicking itself in the junk with technology is the perfect metaphor for the moment. I think so. But imagine having a room in your house and you're wearing perhaps a VR headset or some kind of AR get-up. You could probably be employed by a temping agency that could supply a lot of the gear. You could do all sorts of jobs, odd jobs here and there. It might be a bit like that game, if you've ever seen that game, Job Simulator. Just hopping into jobs, doing a bit here, doing a bit there, but telepresence. It sounds ridiculous and sci-fi and whatever. If you can't imagine a world where AI is going to be smart enough to be like C3PO or whatever, I disagree. You know, we're not too far off from there. But having AI cooperate with an actual human controlling a robot is probably a lot more likely in the short term, and economically a good way of allowing people to continue to work within these corporations if they are all automated. If they enable, like Asimov's idea of robots, if the robots are humanoid, then that means that the world in which they navigate will also be accessible to humanity. That's a good idea, I think. Also make sure that people are skilled in case we have to switch the machines off. We don't want to lose all of our skills. And the clip was posted to Blue Sky by journalist James Vincent, who captured it. Another robot highlight for 2025, man wearing humanoid mocap suit kicks himself in the balls. Hundreds of delighted viewers flocked to his replies to discuss the footage. The greatest AI metaphor of all time doesn't exist. Oh, one user joked. Another wrote, I've been laughing for 10 minutes at this, my belly is cramping up. And one quipped, how many humans in history can be said to have kicked themselves in the balls? Truly revolutionary. Well, yes. Mankind's dream for millennia has finally been fulfilled. Our destiny has been reached. The UniTree G1 robot weighs 35 kilograms, stands 1.32 meters tall, and boasts 23 degrees of freedom in its joints, which gives it more mobility than an average human. Behind its blank face, the robot is hiding an advanced perception system which includes a 3D LiDAR sensor and a deep sensing camera. Although this makes it one of the most advanced commercially available humanoid robots, it needs to be specifically programmed to carry out any given task. Which is why having telepresence is, I think, a good idea. You could have these things wandering around a neighborhood and then have, instead of somebody sitting in some kind of security surveillance office, they could hot desk into these robots or, I don't know, possess them and respond to any real world incidents. I think it would be a way of maximizing police's effectiveness if you could do that. Straight out of the box, like it's in this video, the Unitree G1 is capable of little more than walking around and waving. So it's somewhat surprising that the robot ended up in this hilarious situation. This also isn't the first time that Unitree's humanoid robots have gone viral for their bizarre behavior. In a viral video posted last month, which amassed 6.3 million views, a humanoid robot attempted to make a stir fry for its owner with disastrous results. YouTuber Cody Detwiller, who goes by the name Whistling Diesel, I like that, we have to use these ridiculous names nowadays, put his lunch in the unsteady hands of Unitree G1 robot. The $80,000 bot promptly lost control of the pan, threw the food on the floor and slipped up in the mess. Sheesh. After clattering about like a drunken ice skater, the robot eventually collapsed to the floor in a crumpled heap. On social media, tech fans flooded the comments with a reaction, with one calling it peak comedy. Sophia, who is Sophia the robot? Oh, it's just another stupid attempt to create a talking head. First emerged in 2016 as a super intelligent human-like head with a realistic face that was able to blink, look from side to side and talk. The humanoid robot created by Hong Kong firm Hanson Robotics can chat, smile mischievously and even tell jokes very creepily. Let's rewatch the video. Right, brace yourselves, we're going to try and watch this.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty impressive, really, how it's able to mirror his movements. And could you imagine controlling that from a distance, serving people somewhere, maybe? You could work in a gas station or somewhere. It's this one.
I need you to cook me a meal. I need protein. It needs to be healthy. It's a gas stove. Be careful. You see yourself? That's a mirror. Yeah. You stupid idiot. All right, cook a meal. No. That's a wait. That's a wait. You're waiting here. Stop. Settle down. So if you can cook me the meal, I'm gonna go on in here and play Fortnite. Okay? See ya. What the? All I do is clean up after you.
That was kind of obvious. Such an expensive thing is being mucked around with. But I think this is a good way, potentially, of keeping a workforce going if there were another pandemic type situation. If we have remote jobs, you could have these doing gardening, you know, any kind of physical activity. People could telepresence in, do the work, boost their UBI. I don't know. There comes a point where every single job that you see around you can be automated. So where do we fit the people? Well, I think it would be a good idea to make sure that people can actually continue working should they choose. Either physically present or telepresencing into one of these things would be useful. And if you're not telepresenced in, perhaps they're autopilot. Perhaps there's an ability for these corporations to run things completely efficiently without people at all. But I'd like to see that. I think if we ever have another pandemic like the last one, and I'm pretty sure we will, I'm hoping we will have a whole lot of robotics and VR and AR and stuff that'll mean we are much more free than we were before when we were all locked down. I think there's going to come a point in the future with potential for the viral warfare and stuff, nanotechnology, where we're going to have to be locked down almost all the time. I don't know how far in the future that is, but it's certainly, you see technology kind of angling towards solutions that would work for that kind of scenario. So this one, I think, is one to look out for. Telepresence robots, I think, are on the way in. And VR, even though it's been a bit of a gimmick, I think is becoming so convenient, it's going to definitely take off in the next few years, in my opinion. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you really like the show, but that is it for now. And the only thing I have left to say is Pigwig out.
Oink, oinkity, snort, snuffle, snuffle, squeak, oink, oink, wee, squeal, snort, snort, oinkity, squeak. Oink, 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 squee, squee, wee, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 wee, 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 oh. Snort, snuffle, oink, squee, squeal, wee, snort, oinky. Oinkity, oink, oink. Schnuffle, re, squeeze, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, oink, oinkity. Squeeze, squeeze, re, re, re. Shuffle, snort, squeal, squeal. Oinkity, oink, snort, snort, squeal. Oink, 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 oink. Re, 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 reel. Oink, oinkity. Snort, schnuffle, snuffle, squeal. Oinkity, oink, oink. Snuffle, re, squeeze, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, oink, oinkity. Squeeze, squeeze, re, re, re. Shuffle, snort, squeal, squeal. Oinkity, oink, snort, snort, squeal. Oink, 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 oink. Re, 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 reel. Squeal, squeal. Snort, shuffle, oink, re, squeal, re, snort, oinky, oinkity, oink, 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 snuffle, re, squeeze, snort, oink, squeal, oink, oink, oinkity, squeeze, squeeze, re, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squeal, oink, 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 oink.